Hey folks, it's another game of the NHL on EA Sports. Terry Crews and Son of Beast here. Tonight's night is the matchup that you recalled it for last season, as the Devils are at home to face against the Seattle Kraken, and this was happening at The Rock. The overtime winning scored was the New Jersey Devils. But this time, they are now away, and if you recall this one, you may notice how that gets things are out of the way. Tonight's matchup is the Devils, and they face against the Seattle Kraken again. This time, they're at Seattle for the New Jersey Devils. And Seattle Kraken's starting goaltender is Joey Daccord, and the other side for the Devils is Jake Allen. Let's go ahead and get started off with the X Factor players, starting off with the New Jersey Devils. Jack Hughes starts off at the elite edges, the sharp nipple turns in the tape-to-tape zones, and is the alternative captain for the Devils. With Jesper Bratt, he also makes the elite edges with the tape-to-tape zones. Dougie Hamilton is one of our biggest extreme players that makes the rocket on extreme heavy slap shot and the send it pass. Then the captain for the Devils is Nico Hischier. More likely is a tape-to-tape and a no contest zone to have it all. Then it was Timo Meier, an unstoppable and a big rig. Then a goaltender is Jacob Markstrom, a showstopper. It makes a momentum building reflexes on saves. Then it's Brett Pesky, stick him up in the warrior zone. Then it's Luke Hughes, his brother's playing it with wheels and the elite edges. Then it's Dawson Mercer, a wheels is makes it lightning fast skating speed. Then it's Simon Nemec with a send it pass, and then it's Stefan Noesen with the spark plug. Across from here is Paul Cotter on the spark plug, and lastly is Luke Glendening. From the transfer over from the Lightning, and now he will see what his Swift takes off the ability. Now let's head on over to Seattle Kraken, as Vince Dunn's got some send it pass. Then Brandon Montour with the tape-to-tape zones. He also makes the elite edges with the rocket. With Jared McCann, he makes the pressure on his own. Chandelier Stephenson with the wheels and the fast lightning speed skating. Then it goes with Matty Beniers with the no contest zone. Jordan Eberle with the backhand beauty and the big tipper. Then it's Capo Caco, the unstoppable on the powerful reverse hit. And lastly is Eli Tolvanen. A rocket blast has done it for all. And now let's get things started. My next commentary partners I have is Brent in Seattle, along with Nickel, and the center ice is Cool Beast. We'll be back with you shortly for the intermission and post game. Now let's get to work. Kraken, Devils, coming up after this. A long wait jury in Seattle Kraken as they're ready to face against the East Conference team of the New Jersey Devils. I'm Brent, and I'm here with Nickel and Cool Beast as we are ready for a puck drop. It starts now here at Climate Pledge Arena. Puck is officially has dropped, and we are underway in Seattle. Starting goaltenders is right turn range for the New Jersey Devils is Jake Allen. And the other side of it for the Seattle Kraken is the core. Start things off is Luke Hughes. He'll send it over to Brett Pesky. A send pass to Bratt. Bratt sends over to Hughes. He'll now have it again to Jack Hughes. A send over to Bratt. Back behind it is Jack Hughes. He looks over to Luke Hughes. Hughes to Danadov on a shot. Huge save by Daccord. Daccord will take his first save of the game, and he'll be ready for the puck drop coming up. A lot of huge startness in the range as we are underway in Seattle. No score to game. Now it's a win for Seattle. Here's Dunn. Pass off to Larson. Larson over to Eberle. Eberle looks. A finding shot. Zone saved by Allen. And it's now over to Luke Hughes. The great this is a start off for Allen. But transfer over from the Canadians. Here was one pick playoff I was watching on. And Jake Allen is keeping an eye here with aliveness on his big zone. You know, this attack range is not the better motion when you start things seriously. But that one really makes it a hard use of a trans muscle action. Don't get wrong, that gets it uncomfortable to have that strength in. Here's Matty Beniers finding Eberle. Shot glove saved by Allen. And that was Brad now finding to Danilov. Evgeny Danilov again to Hisker. Here's Hisker. Cuts on the stoppage range. Danilov rebounded and it's stopped on Decor. Brad now sends it off to Siegenthaler. And Kovacevic has now to Siegenthaler. He has it to Brad. Brad's shot and a big stop being made by Decor. Now Larson pulls it, bounding back, and Hisker with the rebound. Chance in play. Now never saved by Decor. And Devils will have a chance to have that lead to start striking the first period.
Oh, that must be the closest call. What happens with Seattle? That Decor made it look like it was not going to get maintaining their pressure. No liveness was able to do the same thing. And what happens with Decor? That almost is going to definitely turn it over.
And Dawson Mercer has it over to Jesper Bratt. Bratt waits patiently, and that one brokens up. And we'll have to reset the group, and now it's Kovacevic out of the way. Kovacevic toward middle is broken by Seattle player. Osaya can now find it over to Schwartz. And it's back to Siegenthaler. Gritsuk now find off to Cody Glass. Sends it deep around the net. Dawson Mercer. Here's Hamilton, fires it, blocked by Eli Tolvanen. Seattle, the other way, for it goes into Devils territory. Tolvanen shoots, he hits the goalpost. That's now finding the Gritsuk, and the Seattle territory is offside.
Well, this is the closest call. When you have to do this for Seattle, you got to make sure you're really up to the highest on the mark. No peak effort won't do the same thing.
That really made that one smacking and pulsing.
That really may have hurt somebody.
Here's Dougie Hamilton. Pass off to Brown. Brown chance to filling to Dillon. Dillon looks to Glendening on the Cotter shot, and it's blocked up in front of the traffic. And it's now Tolvanen with the rebound. It's given by Paul Cotter. Here's a change for Glendening. Big save by Decor. Now it's over to Dillon. Dillon looks to Hamilton. Hamilton back to Dillon. Dillon pass to Hamilton. Here's Carter's shot is off the skater and rebounded by Lindgren. Now the Kraken will give it to Stephenson. Here's Jordan Eberle against Dillon. A shot stopped by Allen. Eberle gets to Stephenson on a shooting range. Is close enough from Jake Allen. He makes another stop for the goaltender.
That really what gets it over appreciation for Jack Allen. That one is really where it starts. Don't make the questions consuming after it.
Hamilton will have his own. It's broken by Stephenson. Stephenson on his way down. Rebound by Hamilton. And he'll now swing it to Mercer. Mercer. Pass back to Dillon. Dillon looks over. Now finding Pesky. Pesky shot blocked by Eli Tolvanen. And off to Eberle the other way for the Kraken. Eberle move around. Huge on the save play by Jake Allen. And now it's Timo Meier. He'll have it striking around, and now it's New Jersey on offense. He's over to Pesky. Swings it around the net. The big break for Timo Meier. Finds Pesky. Big shot range save by Decor. And rebound by Eberle. Big ice on the take. Now Evans. Here's the range. Huge save by Allen. And Stephenson. Has over, middle, Mercer gives that one out past the midway mark in the first period. Hughes sets it clear, glove by the cord, and will stop with only 9:45 remaining.
You can see what happened to Joey Decor.
This was what the rebound really kicks off. This pad save is a kick out. When a monster saving is making in play, watching for cuts for Timo Meier, this is where it gets in range. That's where the cord really comes in. And that rebounding was really not going to be a chance to have the core to have that stop. And now I will be sending it over is Cool Beast for the start of a player, Jack Hughes. Thanks, guys. Jack Hughes is one of the hugest and the youngest player at playing for the New Jersey Devils. The one thing we talked about it for is how he is able to keep things transitioning from the longer impact. What I spot on for Jack Hughes, he was really onto the right take to have that one settled in. Seattle makes it really a great change, but for Jack Hughes, he really has shown it a lot of his support and biggest offense. The better skill is where it goes with the early edges on the turn to make that a comfort impact. I'll be watching on Jack Hughes and what he makes the deal to start his own saves. Guys, back to you. Devils starts in the offense zone. As a great commentator here, Cool Beast. As here's Jack Hughes. Watches it in the backhander and a big save by the cord. And now here's Vince Dunn back to right.
What a save by the cord.
Fans are starting to wow this one out. That is where that really is going to make the pressure starting up here for the Devils offense. Here's Siegenthaler. Pass back to Hughes. Hughes cuts motion. Set up made by the core. Alex Larson to find the off to McCann. And now the Kraken are offensive zone. Line change. Moves in. Right to down shot. Blocked by Siegenthaler. And over from the net. And now here's Luke Hughes. Jack Hughes finds Siegenthaler. And Grizzington back to Jack Hughes. Looks over. Pass motion. And he scores. First of the goal is Connor Brown. A transfer from Edmonton Oilers. Has his first goal in the game.
With a great pass gives it over to Connor Brown. Watch with this play action. You watch Jack Hughes. There's a little bit of a zip here, and then when this pass goes along, that's where Connor Brown comes in. This is the first goal when you have that tip back range, and that first goal won't be the start when you do for real. I was able to look for Jack Hughes, and this is where the poke comes in. He really started off great. For Jack Hughes on a good start, he has that one with his first assist of the game. They started with the 1-0 lead at under a midway mark. Now it's ready for Lindgren, and you'll have that pass again to Witherton. Seattle finds off to Lindgren. Here's Witherton. Huge save by Jake Allen. Big save on the range, and it goes up and over the net, and rebounded by Brown. The Devils regaining the group. Now it's Cody Glass. In middle, and another one scores. Grizzou has get his first goal in the game against Seattle and his first goal in his career. Well, that's what now. Arseny Grizzou, that's where that first goal made an appearance. Now this one's late. You see what the cord made? That's where that defender did not spot that clear. That's the same thing when you got to look for. With Grizzou, that's where he was popping for his first goal. That big range don't really start clearly. That one really made up with the first goal. It makes it go passing and zip by fast. Now as the Devils have already up by 2, it is a 2-0 lead with a 14:05 time on the goal for Grizzou after the assist comes in for the Devils. There's Witherton. That one is chopped in mistake. 5:46 remaining in the first period. He now has a deep pass in the range in the zone. Now has it again to Lindgren. Lindgren packs over to Schwartz. Schwartz will carry things off to a motion, and that shot blocked off to Pesky. Lamico finding over to Pesky, and now the New Jersey goes back on the offense. Cotter, Pesky shot. That shot's blocked and off the glass and rebounded by Cotter. Keeps the Luke line group changing, and that one is broken up the play, and there is nowhere to find. As the court was trying to make the save to stop on Pesky, now here's Mayers the other way. Mayers, shot chance, big play by Allen. That one almost makes it a good goal range for Seattle to get a press on the board. They really did. They almost didn't have that great goal. No way he's been giving it out to somebody else. Now Kako. Going in front, and is gloved up and swallowed by Allen. 3:41 remaining in the first period as they get ready for another puck drop. Once again, back to Cool Beast. We'll have it over to Vince Dunn. Thanks, folks. Vince Dunn is really making this performance that special. What we really are watching it in for is that Vince Dunn makes it a huge special on the place on his effortless. The motion doesn't really take the care for it, and cracking it off is what Vince Dunn makes the defensive playable on the clean effort. We were watching on it and making sure what Vince Dunn makes it a easy making stride. What he makes it doing it for is just an early edge and rolls that across around the net. I'll be watching on Vince Dunn how he will able to keep it on his own motionless. Guys, back to you. Meyer now finds the Siegenthaler, and he's now finding a Gisker.
Hitchcock looks to Meyer. Meyer looks to Kovacevic on a shot, and that one is to bounce it, and it's stopped by the court as we have hit the 2-minute mark in the first period. Kraken trailing by 2 as the New Jersey Devils have already up by 2. The win for Matty Beniers. Vince Dunn in the double territory. Beniers shot gets whipped it up, and then now Brown gets back to Dunn. Dunn shoots, blocked by Krasuk. Kovacevic the other way for the New Jersey Devils. Right around the net, Brown. Brown rolls again to Seacon Fowler. One time Krasuk shoots, he scores! It's now a 3-0 lead. Krasuk with 2 goals in the game and 2 goals this season. Well, that's what happens to Krasuk. That really is giving some a little bit of unconduct here. That's why Krasuk really spreads it. Just look what happened to Krasuk. That's where the goaltender comes with the screen. You watch this guy in the middle, and then you watch Krasuk the other way on a shot speed. That's crazy impact when this goes right zipped across and in a net. When this happens with Krasuk, that is where the goaltender comes in. That screen, he has no idea where it was coming at. That is where the first and the next goal appearances for Seattle. Now it's not given anybody. It is a 2-0 to 3-0. Jack Hughes wins the faceoff. He now has it over to Brett Pesky. Up and given around the net as Jack Hughes the other way. Pass to Brad. Hughes shoots, missed wide, and it's back to Anthony Danonov as we're under a minute in the first period. Devils will decide to think about it and do the regroup. And now as Allen will have it over to Brad. Brad, off to Pesky. Pesky is given away by Chandler Stephenson. Pesky now to Hughes. Luke Hughes. Slows things down recently. And you'll have to redo this again. And we'll have to leave that out. And that ends the first period. So therefore, a 3-0 lead starts for New Jersey as Krasuk with 2 goals in the game, seeking to look for 3. 3-0 is the score after the first. Be back for the second period. Hey everybody, welcome to the first intermission as we have the great eye on scores right for the range in New Jersey. And there is some couple great plays in the range for Krasuk. He has 2 goals of this season and has 2 shots for the net, and he has 1 assisted by down, and that one was over again to have that first goal in range. But there's only one that might change it after Jack Hughes with the assist. Here's how he did with the first total statistics scores after the first period. 16/13 shots on goal for New Jersey, 7/2 for Seattle on the hit. 5 minutes over 141 time on attack for New Jersey, and it was 86/82 for Seattle. 5/3 face-off wins for Seattle. And that one was just definitely how bum it is to start off in the first period. Let's go over to you, Senate Beast. How the New Jersey Devils got their fast start in the first period. Well, the fast start made it really possible and really what they maintained it before. New Jersey Devils have been stopping the pressure. And with the Kraken, they just didn't get their start off there and right away because there's a lot of block shots for New Jersey. And because nowhere is up to start off, they really have been warping it out. They don't seem to find the first goal to take in. I don't know where it's going to keep, but that really makes the New Jersey Devils to have the first goal opportunity for 3 goals against the cord. That must have been on Jack Hughes with the great assist, and now they already have started up a 3-0 lead. Now over to you, Terry, for Seattle. Well, Seattle Kraken is really not starting it off that great. I mean, there's big hits in the range, and it looks like at the cord, he was moving around very craziness on the impact, and it looks like the New Jersey Devils are a high in place. Looks like they're looking to get back into the postseason, and I don't know what is. Maybe the court is really trying to seek out with some big saves. Let's see how he answers it in the second period. And I bet you might have to say this, they need some help for Seattle. Head coach is giving some explaining to do, so they need to find someone else to give that range in. This first goal needs to be done for Seattle. And that will end the first intermission. And we will get back with you shortly for the second intermission after the second period. Now let's go back to Seattle as Brent is along with Nickel and Cool Beast. We'll be back with you soon after this. We are back at Climate Pledge Arena. Welcome back as we're ready to get started for the second. Now as both teams are able to prepare themselves as we're ready for the second period, we're back at the Climate Pledge Arena. Off to you, Nicole, of how that first goal started off at 3-0 in the start of it for the New Jersey Devils. They've been like keeping it on for danger. And danger that long. I mean, I would not say how that happened with Jack Hughes and the team. They just comes out empty-handed. They were really starting the first period strong. But for Seattle Kraken, they're not starting it off. They need to find somebody else to have that with a great ranging goal to keep one from coming out. They got to start making some room here. They got to start doing something to help it out. There's the big hit, and that's on Hughes with the rebound. Yep, you see what I'm talking through? That Luke Hughes' team really need to be showing off. Now as Pratt now has it over to Hughes, he looks over to Brad Pesky. Pesky doesn't get around it, and that's the court, pokes it out off Jack Hughes. But Jenny Deninoff back over to Hughes. Back to Deninoff as Jack Hughes goes off. Seattle back the other way as Matty Beniers watches it closely, and Jesper Pratt is given back to Pesky. He's over to Luke Hughes and sent it off to Hitchcock. As now find Brad is broken up, and here's done. Nick Schwartz, I'll carry over to Kucko. Kucko in, stopped by Allen. And Allen will have it freezing here with only 7:04 remaining in the second period. Lots of time left to be played in the period. New Jersey Devils have cruising in control out for his 3 for the extension. Chandler Stephenson wins the faceoff, and we'll have Dawson Mercer out of the way. Montour again to Chandler Stephenson. Fires a glove, saved by Allen. Kovacevic. Chandler Stephenson pulling it in, shot, another saved by Allen. And it's another attack. Seattle Kraken keeps his own, and icing is on New Jersey. 16-17 remaining in the second period as they're able to have another puck drop ready. A critical draw here as it's still a 3-0 lead for New Jersey. Nico Hishko wins the faceoff. And Kovacevic now has this to Timo Meier. Round and net. Dawson Mercer has it over the other way again. 2-second follower. Kovacevic, he ends the post. And another big save by Decor. Yep, that Decor really had that huge save. That makes sense. You don't start oftenly. They've got to find this amount in the big strength and numbers. Big save by Allen. It's given away by Stephenson. Go to road. Chance in front. Stop by Allen. Tobin. In range is cut down here by a defender. Stephenson. Save play by Allen. And off to do it. Here's Hisker. He shoots it. Another blocker saved by Decor. Stephenson with a big hit. Good zip. Hisker right around the net. Pass out to Brown. Brown sent all the way down. And now as Allen will have it swing to Dillon. And now here's Hamilton. It's now over to Send It. Send it on a saucer to Brown. Brown shots blocked. Rebound by Brown. And then Gwen takes him down. Brown gives it back. His glass shot. Glove save by the core. Lindgren has it now to Stephenson. Seattle works his way across as Quincy takes it away. Quincy nowhere to find. He off to Brown. Oh, a big pivot and now a big monster takedown. That was Kraken. What did they say? Big slam down. Come on, Kraken power. They pick on the tickle rain and it's a big power. They don't seem to like carry it out. I know. Now Brown. It's given by Chandler Stephenson. 12:30 remaining in the second period. Glennon now find Pesky. Lucas is given out over. Now find the Lemelko. Cut motion to Cotter. It's given away by Ryan Lindgren. Schwartz rolls the shot. Blocked it. Snapped by Allen. Allen is going to take some time with under 12 minutes remaining in the second period.
This is where it happens with Jake Allen, and you don't see this commercially give that stop out. That's where the full pressure kicks in. Then Chandler Stephenson would have a great goal. That's a big save made by Jake Allen. That's where it's nowhere to be handling rushing to have that takedown. So Jake Allen has a lot of saves in his range, and the court's trying to stop it to try to have another huge save without the goal. A win by Glennon, and Kovacevic now has it to Siegenthaler, and now it has to Glennon. New Jersey on the offense zone. Gets Glennon, fires it, another save by the court, and it's rebound by Coe. Slows down, now finds Kovacevic. Finds Glennon, and he doesn't get right through it. Eberle now with the Seattle Kraken defender Larson, and he has it over to McCann. McCann. Right to Dunn. Dunn shot. That is deflected off a defender, and a rebound on a goal. Rebound by Seattle. Seattle shot. Another stop by Allen. 10:41 remaining in the second period, as they're still looking for a goal to have that one on the board. The Courts team looking comfortably, trying to get another goal, and it's still a 3-0 lead. And Jack Hughes wins the face-off. He'll have it to Bratt. Jesper Bratt slows things down, and here's the Luke Hughes. He goes down, and no penalty is on Seattle. Here's Jack. Wilson sucks, save by Decor. Kovacevic, he given away that time, and now Matty Beniers is on the attack. Seattle the other way. Chance in! Big stop and a motion after a dive play. No power play for Kraken, as no penalty has been given for New Jersey. Yeah, I thought that was going to be a flipping, but he really felt like that no penalty is going to be given up by Seattle. I don't know what's going on. They've really been like smacking. As Connor Brown stays 43 goals to this point, Seattle Kraken trying to look for a goal to get on the board. As Wright wins the face-off over Jack Hughes. Well, Sayak now will have it into Seattle to New Jersey territory. Jack Hughes will have it over to Luke Hughes. Jack back to over into Bratt, and it's given away by Evans. Here's Wright to Katon. Poked it by Petch, rebounded by the Seattle, and that one will cover in by Allen. And right toward the corner of the wall, trying to bump out of it. Knocking him down. Katon's got it back. Petco shot is blocked. Jack Hughes with the rebound. Recovered by Meyer. Now as the Devils will have it again to Pesky. Pesky waits in front to get to Jack Hughes. That misses up and it's blocked up in the defender. And Osaic will now have a seat for Jack Hughes as Meyer's back on ice. Meyer around the net. Here's Dawson Mercer. And it doesn't get back through it. Wright's the other way. Seattle on the attack. Right chance. In motion. Play mounting. And that one is almost going to be missed again for Seattle to have another goal. Oh, they were really been like shut down up. What Seattle didn't do this that much. They were spotted and nobody was giving it a good look at the rebound. They got to watch it carefully. Yeah, and shoot. He hits the punt. And it goes right out of the blue line. Right to Dillon. Right around the net. Here's Cody Glass. And it's redirected again to Kovacevic. Here's Siegenthaler. In corner to Grizu. Find Kovacevic. Again to Glass. Glass on the backhander. He messed that one up. Siegenthaler on the backhander, and it's gloved by Decor. 5:25 remaining in the second period, as they'll have another puck job break. Man, he was so close. Brendan Dillon would have had a chance with the first goal, but that knocks out the crossbar. Yeah, you see that happens? That is on the pipe in the top right corner. That one was really close. And this is what the corner really heard it. He heard the iron. That one is racing into 98% miles an hour. That really was going to get stayed out. That one was a quick puck flying and on the crossbar. That was really a shock and awe. Still a lot of time left for the Seattle and the Devils. They still keep it 3-0. Glass wins. Now finds Siegenthaler and has it over to Kovacevic. Grayson on the backhander, glove save by the core. Here in the final 5 minutes in the second period, as the core trying to leave it off and trying to watch out for trouble. Grayson made this one look clear, and you can see the last play. Let's watch that one again in the first period, and you're watching on Grayson. This is where that tips in, goes with the first goal, and clearly or not, and when you don't spot it on for Grayson, that one is over by Mercer, and that's the first goal when you spot this off. And now with this chance with a free, he gets stopped and he gets crushed by the cord. That one passes, and you watch him, Grayson. That's where the first goal really comes in to get a second goal. Grayson has 2 goals in this game. He's trying to pursue his third goal in the game out on the road, and here's now the Lindgren. Brian Lindgren. Into middle shots. Never stopped made by Allen. Off to Brown. Brown looks to Siegenthaler. That one deep side of the zone, and this will be an icing on New Jersey. Under 4:30 remaining in the second period as the New Jersey Devils try to work it out. Lots of time left to be going in the period. They still get the cruise control for New Jersey. Chandler Stephenson wins the faceoff. A shot. Oh, he gets blocked down. What a crouch down by Glass, and it's back the other way. Look, that Cody Glass had made a block shot. That one is where that goes to a show off. Brown. Nowhere to give. Ryan Lindgren will set it over. Now find to Stephenson. Here's Stephenson. Shoots one. Huge save by Allen. Glass. Again to Brown. New Jersey on offensive zone. Finding Glass. Moves around. Step by the core. Schmeltz has got it off. And back on ice for the Seattle. Here's the pass. Kako shares. Almost deflected in. And this had Dougie Hamilton sets it back to Brown. Brown looks over to Glass. Glass looks it. Glass goes down. No penalty on Seattle. It keeps it clean as McBain gives the Kako. Move around. In zone. Saved by Allen. And Hamilton with the rebound. The Devils pick their way up into the Seattle territory. And it's Bratt. Bratt slaps it. And another save by Decore. Pass. Pesky again to Hughes. Hughes to Bratt. Bratt goes down. Rebound by McCann. McCann fires it deep. And stopped by Allen. Schwartz. The Kako, right in range, and is taken down by Allen, and he will have it freeze here with under 90 seconds remaining in the second period. Just nearing down to the end of the second, it's still a 3-0 lead for Seattle as it trailed by 3. The win for Seattle. Here's Dunshot, blocked up in front. Meyer gets to Pesky, and now he has it over to Hisker. Hisker pass to Meyer. McCann takes it away, not finding Andy Beniers. Beniers, Everly, glove save by Allen. 47 seconds in the second period, as they'll be able to have another regroupment for Seattle. Hisker wins the faceoff. Siegenthaler back around the back to Kovacevic. And that one missed it up. McCann. Done. Fires. Scores! There's the first goal of Vince Dunn. Gets their team on board strike in a second. Well, there's a good takeaway from McCann. And when you give it over to Vince Dunn, that is right into the net. Now, this is what causes what happens to have that one turned over. Is Vince Dunn. That goes 103 miles per hour. And it has ricochets out the pipe and knocks the bottle out. Now that's a great play connection here as the Seattle, they're on the board. Doesn't take the effort? No way. Seattle is on the board as they already have taken a 3-1 lead for New Jersey, trying to find an answer back. Now the win for Seattle, and here comes McCann for Beniers. Fires another stab on the pad by Jake Allen. Paul Cotter. Again to Lemiko. Lemiko pass broken, and it's Jordan Everly. He'll have it to McCann, and that is going to end the second period. A kick over, takeaway from the Seattle Kraken, as they now have striking it, and they're on the board 3-1. Third period is next when we return after the break. Hey fellas, welcome to the second intermission, as the Kraken has found their answer after the breakaway change from Vince Dunn on the goal that ricochet off the pipe and into the net, and they have got themselves on the board with a 3-1 lead. Now here's the take here of how that happened after the second period. 33/25 total shots on goal for Seattle, and it was 15/9 for Seattle on the hit. 834/308 for New Jersey time on attack. 89/79 for Seattle passing effectiveness, and 12/8 face-off wins for Seattle Kraken. Sure enough, they have to look for the answer on the goal to have it tied up. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but we'll see what happens in the second to third period if they get a tying range. Let's have your take here, Son of Beast, about the New Jersey Devils. Well, they stay in control. They really just kept on from going back afterwards, and just a big range when you're spotting that on. As for Jake Allen, he makes a huge save. Nobody stands a shot, but the secret is that the Seattle Kraken is really giving it off for another lease on the goal. And remember the last time after against the Boston Bruins? That first season doesn't really give it a good chance effort. They've really been knocking it out, and nowhere to find the effort, they've really been stepped out. Looks like the Seattle Kraken might need to answer it back if they can answer it for the win. Now over to you, Terry, for Seattle. They got themselves on the board. They definitely did so well, and now they'll have to look for 2 more goals in the third period. But let's see how they can handle this off, because my focus on the take is on Joey Decord, and he might have to just keep on making some saves and attacks, make sure he gets it down, and do a goal to his strengths. That might just be the right case, but however bad you would feel, well, you'll never know how that goes out. So that really does this for now. I mean, Seattle's been trying to answer it out, so maybe this could be a tie, or this could be a sudden leadoff for the New Jersey Devils. They gotta find a way through it. Now that as we end the second intermission, we go back to Seattle. Brent, all you. See you all later after the game. We're back in the third period as we're ready to have our next puck drop, and it comes down to this. Seattle and Devils have been waiting for a long time here in the third period as the answer with the goal, and he scores! Ellie Beniers has now enters the third period, just 12 seconds, and then now it's a close one-goal game. Yeah, the one-goal game happened to be this. Watch what Ellie Beniers did. That is where it does come in. And this poked on defender right from Jake Allen. He missed it, and that one is reached out at it too soon. That first goal is now going to be a close game in range. You see that poking? Yeah, that misses. Now that happens to Matthew Beniers, he's going to get that another goal. And that's a piece that gets down by 1. As Jack Hughes wins the face-off, we now go back into the third. Let's have your status about how that Seattle have answered it back, and it looks like the third period is just going to be theirs if they wanted to tie this up. Well, I'm sure enough that they will tie it up. I mean, I'm promising. The last time they did at New Jersey, at The Rock, they found a great answer, and that was definitely turning to be how Seattle were doing it. They really been stepping up the pace for it. I wasn't pretty sure how they were able to do that, but that one was really a wicked play. They've really been watching it carefully, loving it. House right now again to Hughes. There's another one for the Jersey Devils on the attacking and both range. Hughes, he's going to be moving it across. Now we're stopped by Decord. And it's now as Jack Hughes trying to look for some big motion to try to shush the crowd. He wasn't sure how that was going to happen. Oh, no way. I was never spying how Jack Hughes was able to make that a huge save. And there was a broken stick there. I mean, I'm not even sure if that was going to be there. But Jack Hughes really did seem like he was messing that one up. Huge stop made by Decord. And here's McCann. Shoots, never saved by Allen. And Dawson Mercer for the New Jersey on the attacking range. They'll have that deep zone. It's given by Vince Dunn. Alex Larson.
Segan Fuller. Back to Timo Meyer. And Meyer now has it to Mercer. Swings off to Gisker. Here's a chance right into the Seattle territory. Finds off to Grizzou. Going for three. And that's over the net. And that stays out. And that's a big save by the Bullets. That was on the attack. It's given away by Nick Schwartz. And it's now Seattle the other way with 15:50 remaining. Cold shot. Never stopped by Allen. Novosevich has it now over to Grizzou. Grizzou takes to Brown. Brown for two. Grizzou rebound is blocked by Montour. That's right. And back to Brown for New Jersey. New Jersey back in the offensive territory, and it's now Brown. Doesn't have the right forward remaining as Grizzou again to Dillon. Here's Hamilton. Right to Brown. Backhander. Big blocker saved by the core. And trying to get back into it is Dillon. And it's Frederick Guterud the other way down to right. Right over back to Brown. And here's Grizzou. Grizzou. Round the net. Goes right off of Hamilton. Catches some rebound, not finding Dillon. Dillon goes dancing along the way. He has now have given to Brown, and the blocker is made. He tries to stop for it, and that was sketch strip. Grizzou back to Dillon. New line group change from New Jersey Devils. Coming back on ice is Brad Pesky. And that puck escapes the zone. Good out find Dillon. Dillon roices in now into the Kraken territory. And Myers now finds the Frederick Guterud. He looks over to right. Right goes right over on Segan Fuller. And now Glendening. The other way for the New Jersey Devils on the full range attack. Rolls to Lemko. Lemko. Now along the boards, and it's rebounded out by Pesky. Pesky, in cut motion. Looks off the cutter, and Hughes shoots, saved by the core. We'll get a little bit of a clean sheet of ice here and get the stick out of the ice, and we'll be ready for our next puck drop. My favorite kind of it is that Joey Decord has making some huge saves. He's one of our best players in the game tonight, and now what I mentioned it before, what Decord really made, the first period doesn't start off well, but now really up to it. Now, the most challenging is what happens to Decord. He just really has a long way down to make 40 of them in a row. When this big, huge saves goes of impact, it doesn't get well better in this. Decord's really like showing some crowd opportunity. They want to show some love. They want to see how they can definitely get, and that's where he needs to be. That's big range and strategy. Hughes now finds Pesky. Let me go shot. Another blocking chance and a saving impact for New Jersey is now they're back in the rebounding again to Pesky. Hughes Glendening. Let me go shot. Saved by the corner. Connor on the backhander. Big pass save. And that's blocked up. Hughes shoots. Saved by the corner. Oh, what a chance on a save. There's a roll right around the pack. And now he is hoping to stay alive to help Matty Beniers out. Now, Matty Beniers, what he's able to do is no contest. He wants to see what he could smack down over by Glendening and Cotter out in the Jersey zone. Here's Luke Hughes. He finds Lemko. And off to Pesky. Pesky chance. Cotter gives that out. Now finds Hughes. Hughes chance to Cotter. Lemko shot. Huge save by the core. And Brandon Montour will have it to McKay. He really had done it. Joey Decore is on a star. No special redoing it for, but that's a big comeback save. And he's able to kick it off. Luke Hughes on the attack. To Cotter. It's off of the skater, and it's rebound by Montour. Seattle now has again to McCann. He looks to Eberle. Watches it, and glove save by Allen. And we have now hit the midway mark in the third. 3-2's the score, New Jersey, up by 1. Still got a lot of time left to remain in the period. 12:26 was the hugest time on attack for New Jersey, and 3:46 for Seattle. Here's Hughes, now finds Segan Fuller. As now to Kovacevic. And it's now Jack Hughes again. He'll have it again to Jesper Bratt. Hughes in middle with the shot, never stopped by the cord. Hughes couldn't find his own goal to make the range, and that one saves it again by the cord for the Seattle Kraken. With under 9:30 remaining in the third period, Both teams still watching patiently. And it's now Mayers with the win, and Alex Larson for the Seattle Kraken. He's off to Mayers again to Winterton. Winterton snatched it from Allen. 9:08 remaining in the third period. As he'll be able to take the pursuit and have another impact. And get ready for another puck drop. And Jack Hughes wins the face-off. His second faller. Has the ballon, he will have it over to Kovacevic. 50 pass to Casper Bratt. Hughes watches it, and a shot is off the skier, and again to Winterton. After a blocking made, here comes the Seattle Kraken. Siegenthaler rebounds it again, now finds to Bratt. Bratt waits it off to Kovacevic. He shoots, never save at the core. Bratt to Siegenthaler. Kovacevic. Again to Siegenthaler. And that one gets away from it. And Alex Larson, after a poke check, he now gives to Cotton. Keaton shot. That's up the skater. And stopped by Allen. He shoots again. Another save by Allen. 3-time stop. 2-time stop. Pack goes up. And another kick pack saved by Allen. Oh, he really did. How did Allen just make that save? That's question to help things out. Big struggle here for the goaltender. I think his head coach needs to be up there. His energizer is getting pretty low. Myers shot. Huge save. Stop at the court. And back to Alex Larson. Here's Meyer. Meyer chance. Another stop at the court. He's really up to it. Fans are watching it. Luke Hughes with the block shot. Dawson Mercer. Backhander. Stop made. Doesn't know where he finds, but he just holds the puck in with only 6:08 remaining.
I got a feeling with DeCoy, that really was almost going to be out of the way.
Now you see this crazy pressure, and that one is going to give it away. Hayden was able to have his own rebound, and then Allen, watch how his percentage makes. He's frightening Elias. He's only like 39%. And off the stick it went. He was really abounding. He was not slowing it down afterward for DeCoy and for Jake Allen. He just really got a masterpiece. Now that's for another huge save for Jake Allen. He really has watching it off carefully, fighting it the other way, and he's really watching it slowly to have that regaining route. Yeah, you bet. The better feeling, I don't really pay that attention for Jake Allen. That really has kind of hard to make them strangle. I was able to have that one to keep that range afterward. They really are watching it carefully. Glove snatched by DeCoy. They're in the final 5 minutes in the third period as the both teams are ready to kick off our next puck drop. 20/14 hits in the game. For Seattle, it is still 3-2. And Hughes wins the face-off. And Montour fast to Eberle. Eberle right in the range. Goes right over to no contest. Zone save by Allen. Again. That goes to Eberle. Another save by Allen. Luku sends it out, and it's now Brown. Pass under 5 minutes remaining is presented by Discover. And now that's no contest the other way for the Seattle. Here they come, the pressure, the 2-on-1. The chance made, stopped made by Allen. He's over now to Dillon. Brett Dillon to Jack Hughes. Hughes cuts motion. Doesn't get right by it. Hughes shot saved by DeCoy. He goes over it and tries to bail out of Jack Hughes from the goal. He risked it and he just had it all. He just keep coming down. When Jack Hughes tries to get a lot of goal, he does not have the right choice. That really misses it. That doesn't really start it off that quite. Considerably on the fact this needs some quick changes. Frederick Goodwin shoots. Easy save made by Allen and right around the net. Here's Jack Hughes. Set off to Hamilton. And Chandelier Stephenson the other way. Stephenson shot one, crouched down on the block by Dillon. And after over to Pratt, he'll now get it out. Here's Danonov. Transfer from the Dallas Stars as he tries to look for an open play in offense. He looks at Hamilton. Back to Danonov. Looks to Siegenthaler. Faller again. Hamilton shot gloved and snatched by the cord. And with only 2:18 remaining. Frederick Guru. Here's Jack Hughes. He goes right behind the net. Hamilton watches it. Tries for deflection, and he doesn't get right by it. Off the stick and back to Guru. New line good change for Seattle Kraken. Tolvanen shoots, saved by Allen. Mercer kicks over. Hisker's out of there. And now back to Hisker. Hisker watches. Back to Kovacevic. He now looks to Siegenthaler. And he goes way out of the zone. Down to a final minute in the third period as Meyer has to get the kicks off to Hisker. Hisker shoots. Pat save at the cord. He'll freeze it in with under a minute remaining. And now, who had the best playing game of the night? I will now send it over to Cool Beats. Thanks, fellas. About Kwizuk, he has 2 goals in this game, and he's really been like on the toss-up to his own tracker. The eye is a great perception, and he's really watching it clear. Well, this might be it for Seattle. They're trying to watch on it if they're looking to clear it out. This might be it, what they're going for. I'll keep an eye on it and see what goes on. Back to you guys. Oh, he hit the goalpost. That is a lucky save on a play for Seattle. And now back to McCann. McCann, shot, glove save by Allen. 25 seconds remaining in the third period. Seattle trying to deal, but he still wound up too close to call. 89 over 84 for Seattle. Last puck drop, Quinn Hughes. Watching on Jack Hughes, but he still doesn't regret it. And it's a win for the New Jersey Devils. They won against Pittsburgh, and now Jack Hughes is going to bring the empty net. He missed it wide. Contour. And it's over now to Beniers. Last chance for Kraken. Beniers, Schwartz, rolls it, stop save by Allen. And Hughes sends it out, and Beniers, team is over. What a shocking disappointment. And as for Seattle, they couldn't get that tying range in. Well, you know what happens with Jake Allen. After Markstrom, without being here, that's what Allen, he makes it seal the deal with the victory, and he could have had that empty net goal for Jack Hughes. Well, that's all for now. As the Rose will take the win for New Jersey Devils. So that rounds it up here, fellas. With a close game, it was so close to call, they just couldn't get it back. Along with Cool Beast and Nicole, I'm Brett, and thank you for watching for the Seattle Kraken game of the hockey. And we'll see you all next time. Good night, and so long in Climate Pledge Arena. Alright, thanks, Brett. And now we are ready for 3-star players of the game. Connor Brown with a goal and 2 assists. It only makes it 1 after assisted by Jack Hughes to have his first goal in the range. Then a 2nd-star player of the game for the New Jersey Devils was Arseny Kwizuk. With 2 goals and 1 assist and 1 hit, he only does this to keep that winner from scoring. The big on range is nowhere to be near, but that's where the Rip Rocky goes through. And your 1st-star player of the game for the Seattle Kraken, nothing gives, but Jake Allen had 50 saves of his night. Without Jacob Markstrom, Jake Allen is a star and a hero. And the final statistics are right on across the other side. 52 over 49 total shots on goal for Seattle, and it was 22 over 15 for Seattle on the hit. 1455 over 401 for New Jersey Devils. 89 over 83 passing effectiveness for Seattle. And it was 18 over 14 faceoff wins for Seattle, and no penalty was given both teams. So that's it for the 8th game, and this was pretty shocking. The same thing doesn't really stand out for was Seattle Kraken, and they just only did win last season against the New York Rangers at the Garden. So for now, it is already shutting down to the end for Seattle Kraken at the end of the game. Well, we'll see them next time here for Seattle Kraken. We'll see what another game of the night does, if anything's possible. Along with my broadcasting partner, along with Brett and Nickel and Cool Beast, and along with Son of Beast, I'm Terry Crews. You've been watching the NHL on EA Sports. And see you folks next time for as well as the NHL 26 gameplay dial. Thanks for watching, and good night.